People may break promises, but God's faithfulness never falters, and this is the core truth that every believer must carry deep within their heart. For the world around us is full of broken words, abandoned commitments, and forgotten assurances. Yet God's promise is eternal, unchanging, and beyond the flaws of human nature. When people give their word, it is often shaped by circumstance, emotion, or self-interest. And because human beings are limited, they may not always fulfill what they say. But when God declares a promise, it is established in the heavens and the earth, unshaken by time, untouched by human weakness, and unaltered by any force. And that is why in the life of a believer, the greatest anchor is not what people say, but what God has already guaranteed. For through highs and lows, through doubt and fear, He remains steady, constant, and unwavering. And when your heart is heavy, when your friends fail you, when family turns away, when the world does not deliver what it promised, it is in those moments that the faithfulness of God shines the brightest, reminding you that His mercy is greater than your mistakes, His love is deeper than your despair, and His wisdom is far beyond the temporary troubles of this fleeting world. And it is essential to understand that God's track record of goodness is eternal. He has never failed and never will. Because since the beginning of creation, when the universe was brought into existence, every sunrise has followed the night, every heartbeat has followed another, every breath is granted without you asking, and every blessing in your life is a testimony of His consistent mercy, proving to you that God's faithfulness is not a one-time act, but a continuous stream flowing endlessly. And when you reflect on your own life, you will see countless times when you thought you were alone, countless times when you felt abandoned, and countless times when you doubted the path. Yet every single time, God made a way, whether you recognized it or not, for His hand has been guiding you, protecting you, and sustaining you even in silence. And that is the reason believers must never anchor their trust in the promises of people but in the unbreakable word of God. Because people may walk with you for a while and then leave. People may swear loyalty today and forget tomorrow. People may assure you of love but fail to prove it in action. Yet God, who is above all, has declared His promise of never leaving. His servant, of responding to those who call on Him, of guiding those who seek truth, and of rewarding those who persevere. And this is where true strength is found. Because when storms rise, when fear grips your heart, when tears fill your eyes, you can stand firm knowing that your Creator never abandons, and His care is not dependent on your circumstances, but on His eternal nature. And it is in this realization that the believer finds peace, because life will always present highs and lows. And no matter how much we plan, no matter how much we strive, there will be moments when everything crumbles, when dreams fall apart, when health declines, when relationships break, when wealth disappears. And in such times, if your trust was only in people, you will be shattered. But if your trust was in God, you will stand again. Because His power is greater than your trial. His faithfulness is stronger than your loss, and His love is wider than your despair. And truly, the wisdom behind people breaking promises is also a reminder from God that He alone deserves our complete reliance. Because if everyone kept their promises perfectly, we might start placing ultimate trust in people instead of God. But the disappointments we face are lessons teaching us where real security lies, and that is in the unchanging nature of God. for he has never failed any of his servants, and history testifies to this truth. Because generation after generation, nation after nation, those who held firm to God found him faithful, and those who turned away discovered that nothing else could provide what only he gives. So as a believer, you must rise each day with the awareness that your life is not shaped by the promises of people, but by the decree of God. And when you walk through uncertainty, when you do not know what tomorrow holds, remember that you are walking with the one whose promise never breaks, whose mercy never runs dry, and whose plan never falters. And that is why, instead of holding bitterness when people let you down, instead of drowning in despair when promises are broken, you must lift your eyes higher, because God's promise is superior, and his faithfulness is the only foundation that cannot collapse. And every trial you face is not meant to crush you, but to push you closer to him, to teach you reliance, to strengthen your trust, and to remind you that the only voice worth depending on completely is his. So when doubt creeps in, when fear whispers in your ear that you are alone, when your mind tells you that no one cares, silence those lies with the truth that God has never abandoned a single servant who turned sincerely to him, and he never will, because his loyalty is not like human loyalty. His love is not like human love, and his faithfulness is not like human. Faithfulness, for all human qualities are limited, but his are eternal. And when you build your life on that foundation, you will no longer be shaken by betrayal. You will no longer be destroyed by disappointment, because your soul will know that even if the entire world walks away, God remains. And if he remains, you are never truly alone, never truly lost, never truly without hope. So continue to walk with courage. Continue to trust even when you cannot see. Continue to pray even when you do not feel the answer. Because your faith is not in the changing tides of people's promises, but in the eternal truth of God's goodness. And in the end, when you look back at your life, you will realize that every moment of pain, every broken word, and every failed expectation was only meant to draw you closer to the one whose word never fails, and you will testify that through highs and lows, through doubt and fear, God remained steady, and his faithfulness was your greatest blessing, proving once and for all that he has never failed and never will.